When we started doing the research for Achi, very quickly we kind of became a wee bit sort of caught in the headlights, I think would be the best way to describe it, about how to tell that story in a way that wasn't going to be too politically slanted or celebratory or whatever else. And that, like I say, this notion of using the voices of individuals who were there or documents or whatever, that was quite important. And at first we thought we were just going to tell the story of some of the folk in a local battalion who were involved in the attempt on Achi. But it quickly became clear that you couldn't, it's very like starting the story in the middle unless you'd made it clear why that hill, why Gallipoli, why all of those things were important within the context of the First World War. It would have made absolutely no sense. And very quickly after we started researching, it became clear that lots of the contemporary sources were already discussing the Gallipoli campaign as if it were a second Trojan War. It was almost being branded and marketed, I suppose is how we would understand it now. But to recognise that in fact it's always been like that was really interesting. The ships themselves were on a number of occasions in different articles and places, spoken about as if they were the wooden horse, right? And it was, these ships were built literally at the bottom of the street that were the building we're sitting in right now in Port Glasgow. And there was obviously a terrible irony about the fact that in many circumstances the men who built the ships then sailed on them to Gallipoli. So there are circumstances where that happened. But yes, from a local perspective, it was important that we also recognised not just the sacrifice of the individuals that had been made, but also the notion that the rest of the community was also engaged in the war effort. In the case of this particular piece of work, actually, we made a conscious choice that what we didn't want to do was go down that Commando Comics route, right? We didn't want it to be sort of all death or glory. So yeah, we made a choice that there were some fairly graphic moments. The feedback that we got from a lot of schools, in particular around second, third, fourth year, from teachers and librarians included, was that was a good thing, that was something which had chimed with the readers. Not on a "wow, this is brilliant" type way, but much more in a sense of not patronising the reader. Comics is a very immersive medium, and it's a very visual medium, and if you're telling historical stories and you want there to be a truth to that, then there needs to be a truth to those visuals sometimes as well. For us particularly, what I like about what we've been doing over the last few years with comics and graphic novels is that it's a good gateway for people, and it's a good way of engaging folk who may not be interested in traditional historical documents or websites or publications, but enjoy the immediacy and the immersion of a graphic novel where they can just get straight into it, and it's not even that it's a lighter read, right? It's that it's a more straightforward way for them to access that information. If it then provokes an interest, well, that's great as well. It's a great way for people to find their road in, I think, to history. We were just presenting the words. It's the reader who maybe decides the facts of the story.